Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Beatrice, if you guys don't know, and if you're not subscribed. Some of you might be wondering why I'm speaking in English. I decided to change some things around and start making some English videos. I'm sorry to my old subscribers if you don't understand. I totally understand if you unsubscribe, but I hope you guys stick around and I hope you guys enjoy my videos. I hope you guys are okay, and if you want to follow me on my social media you can follow the one down here. So today we'll be talking about a different series that you can watch during this quarantine. I know it's a really horrible time right now, but we have to try and make the best out of it. So I'm going to be talking about some of my favorite TV shows. I separated them in different categories, in 5 different categories. I hope you guys enjoy the video. My first category is crime and thriller. So basically, I think most of you have heard of this series. It's You. It's really good. I really like it. If you guys don't know what the story is, I'm not going to give you spoilers, but it's a psychopath that works in a bookshop that's kind of his, but it isn't actually his. It's from the man that took care of him, but I don't want to give you spoilers. So he kind of goes after a girl and he falls in love with her, but it's not really love, the traditional love. He sees her as an obsession, and that clearly isn't a really good thing. So I really recommend that you guys watch. The next one is also a really known series. It's Lucifer, which basically the name tells it all. So he's the angel of hell. He was sent from heaven to hell, and after a long time he went to earth and stayed there, and he didn't want to go back to hell. And then he falls in love with a girl, and he wasn't involved in the crime. I don't remember. I really don't remember the first episode. I've watched it a really long time ago. But he was in the same place that a crime had occurred. So he got involved, and from that point on forward, he started getting involved in different crimes and helping the inspector, one of the main characters. And it's really a good series. And it hasn't ended yet. So you guys can watch it and still wait for the last season. I think it's going to be the last season. Thirdly, it's Quantico. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but it's basically this I wouldn't call it a military school, but it's basically some they're trying to train agents, but the top of the top agents. So they're really good, and they're selected from thousands and thousands of people, and they have different challenges, and I really suggest you guys watching it. Okay, so the second thing we'll talk about is history and romance. This one, it's one of my favorite series of like all time. It's called Reign. I really don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's basically during the 14th century, and I really like knowing about history, and it's basically talking about Mary, Queen of Scots, her history. And I know not everything is actually true, but there's some aspects in the story that are true, and I really like that series. So the third thing we're going to be talking about is romance and teenager series. So the first one, it's Glee. I know most of you have watched it already. I still haven't watched the whole series. I'm on the last season, I think. Yeah, I'm on the last season, and it's really good. It's not my favorite series, but it's really good, and it's a classic. I know most of you have watched it. It has music, it has romance, and it's kind of uplifting. If you want a series that you can uplift your spirit and see that people can actually reach their goals. And I know most people don't consider the series to being inspiring, but I kind of see that aspect. You can set a goal and you can reach it if you really want to. So the next one is Gossip Girl, and this is it's one of the biggest classics. I know most of you have probably watched it, but I've honestly watched it 3 times, I think, and every time I really like it. It's one of those series you can be doing something and put that on the background, and it's really good. And honestly, it has one of the best endings on series that I have ever seen, since it actually tells you what happens in the future. I don't know if it's just me, but at the end of each series I get really sad because I don't know what happens in the future, and even though it ended, I at least got to know what they did in the future, and it's really good. I really recommend this series for you guys to watch. So the 4th category is fantasy. I really like fantasy movies and series, so I don't know if this is your style of thing, but if it isn't, you can pass to the next one. There are 2 series here. The first one is Charmed, not the one that came out like 2 or 3 years ago. This one's the one that came out more than 20 years ago, I think. It came out a really long time ago, but it's really good. I know most of you might not like it because it's really old and it doesn't have a lot of quality, but especially on the monsters and those kinds of things, but it's really good. The next one is Witches of the East End, and I don't think a lot of people have actually heard of this series. It's really underrated, and it was actually cancelled, and I got really sad about that when I was watching the series about 2 or 3 years ago. But it basically was a book, and they transformed it into a series, and it surrounds 4 women. There's basically 2 sisters, one of them has 2 daughters, and they're all witches, and I haven't watched the series in a long time, but I think I'm actually going to watch it when I finish my exams that I have next week. But when I finish them, I'm going to watch it. It's a really, really good series, and I really recommend you guys watching it. They're all witches, so they all have magic power, so it's really good. I really recommend you guys watching it. The final category is the classics. So there are 2 series in here. The first one being The Fresh Prince of Bel-air. I know most of you have watched it. I know it's a really, really big classic. Most of you remember that song going in your head that I can't put on YouTube because I'll get copyrighted, but I know most of you have heard the song at least, and if you haven't watched it, you at least know of its existence. It's basically a boy that was sent, I don't remember why, but as a teenager he was sent to his aunt and uncle's house. They were in a completely different neighborhood, so basically they had a lot more money than he had when he was living with his parents, so it was a completely change of his life, and it's really good. So the last one, last but certainly not least, it's Friends. I know most of you have heard about that series. It revolves around a group of 6 friends. On the beginning of the series they were on their 20s, and then more on then they're already on their 30s, and they basically live in New York, and they're basically a family to one another, and it's really good. It's a really good series. I really would suggest you guys watching it if you haven't already. But if you haven't, certainly go and watch it. So that's it. I hope you guys like the video. I'm gonna try and make the most videos that I can, since I still have to study, and whilst being at home, and it's really difficult. It seems like the teachers have just made it worse, and just put more exams and more work and more essays and more. It's just horrible, and I'm kind of panicking since I have a lot of tests next week, but it's okay. I hope I can film that for you guys and try and make a vlog out of it. And I hope you guys like the video, and if you liked it, subscribe, comment down below if you want to see any other type of videos, and you can follow me on my social media, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!